11:20, 12 seconds, the 6th of February, 2012. Over the last 3 weeks, I've basically watched all the environmental, just all the good documentaries on Netflix and YouTube, and this is on top of watching a lot of lectures by the Royal Society and Google Tech Talk lectures and Boston University and TED.com lectures and MIT lectures and reading all the stuff on the Greenpeace webpage and just getting an idea of what's going on in the world. Remember when I was 12 years old when the Ethiopian famine happened? I just remember one night just crying myself to sleep. And recently I saw The Devil Came on Horseback about the genocide in Sudan, in Darfur. I remember just crying a little bit. Just my eyes were watering. I wasn't like bawling, but it was hard to watch. And now just seeing other stuff about, these shale, these natural gases, and fracking them and injecting, 1 or 7 million gallons of water with some 600 chemicals and all the pollution and health problems, and all the big water basins across the U.S. that have these deposits of gas and how it's not regulated. I mean, the U.S. is going to have a giant health problem in the future with all these carcinogens in the water table. And that's on the back also of Canada and their oil sands and deforestation and palm tree, palm plantations. When you look at the earth, 3/4 of the world work in agriculture, 3/4 of them till the soil by hand. To raise 1 kilogram of beef, it takes some 13,000 liters of water. But it only takes like 3,000 liters of water to raise the equivalent amount of soybean. And we give 90% of soybean to our cattle. But then 1% of the Earth's energy goes to producing nitrogen-based fertilizers for the agriculture industry. And now imagine in the developing world if they get a taste for beef and they start eating more beef, the planet is just fucked. In terms of the Chinese and underreporting their fisheries, there's a good lecture way back at the beginning in 2004 on the Royal Society website by Paul Daniels. I think he's a Canadian fishery expert from DFO. We basically take 140,000 tons of fish out of the oceans each year. And all the world's fisheries are overfished. Like take in 1992 when the Grand Banks closed its inshore fishery and put 30,000 Newfoundlanders out of work. And I think the cod is Gracia. The same problems are happening in the North Sea, of course, with cod stocks, no doubt. And it was really tragic when I was in Barbados in 2007 in March when there was no barracuda in the market. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Thank goodness there's a billion Hindu in the world that don't eat fish. And thank goodness there's a billion Muslims in the world that don't eat pork, because there's 3 billion pigs in the world. And of course, animals are a big producer of greenhouse gases. Like, it's all connected. So I'm just having this awareness of the issues on the planet and almost a fear for the future, sort of. And how we get away from this hydrocarbon-based economy. What is the paradigm shift that we need that doesn't destroy the planet? It's really remarkable, when you start to get an awareness of the scope of the problems and where they all are. It's almost really scary. So, that's just my random tangential thoughts on the state of the world and big business and the corruption and the lobbyists and the bullshit and the crapology and people putting their heads in the sand and not addressing the problems, and all these corporations like Monsanto and Halliburton and Chesapeake Energy, and you can go on and on and on and on and name all the big killers. I don't even know where the planet starts to tackle and get control on the destruction. I have no idea. No idea at all. It's just scary. Absolutely scary.